Good afternoon. Unusual, an afternoon walk. But this weekend, well, Monday actually, is my wife's birthday, so we were doing birthday stuff. I'll be doing more birthday stuff since it's easier to do it on the Sunday than it is on the Monday. Very warm, 28 the last I looked. But at the moment there's a bit of cloud cover, so that'll keep me from sweltering too much here, but it is very summery, which is why I call this Summery Sunday. I tend to wander over into Lakeview on Sundays, so I'm going to do that part of Lakeview. So we had a nice outdoor breakfast this morning. A couple of friends. Have a nice supper tonight with our usual birthday celebratory tradition, which is champagne and cashews. That comes from Margaret Ann's family. My teetotaler family would not have had champagne for anything. Might have had cashews, but definitely not champagne. We'll run into a lot more people today out and about on an afternoon on a Sunday. So these days I'm just in the residential areas. Making my way over to the footbridge. Actually feels very pleasant without the sun. The sun came out to be warm, but I'm wearing a white shirt. Makes a huge difference. People don't appreciate it. Wear a green shirt and you will cook. Green absorbs all the infrared. Longer wavelengths with all the heat in it. White reflects everything, so it helps a lot. Also had some writing stuff to do today. I'm mentoring somebody, as I've mentioned before, through the Saskatchewan Writers Guild, and I had a phone call with her to talk about her middle grade fantasy that I've been reading and helping with. We had a good discussion and I think some good suggestions on how to improve it. And there's another fellow whose book I'm editing. He was somebody who I worked with as writer-in-residence at the Saskatchewan Public Library, and I'm doing it now on a freelance basis, and it's a very interesting story. He's an inexperienced writer, but he's doing an excellent job, and I'm enjoying working on that as well. Just gave that a read through today. It's a very long chapter he sent me, and I'll do the actual editing. I'll do the actual editing maybe this week, at least some of it. Hopefully get through it, because I've still got my novel to finish, The Tangled Stars. Made some good progress this week, but I gotta keep plugging ahead, get that done. Then once that's done and submitted, it won't be done, but it'll be submitted, I will start on book 4 of World Shapers. It doesn't have a title yet. I know the story, but it doesn't have a title. And I just might try a Kickstarter, just for that. Nothing like, 16,000 or whatever. I guess 15,000 was my goal this last time. Maybe 2,000 even, or 2,500, just to bring in a little money to help as I write that, because it won't be coming out from Daw Books. I'll be publishing that one myself to keep the series going. And I'm going to write it regardless, but if I could run a Kickstarter and it succeeded, that would be nice. Look around and see what other people are trying to raise for that kind of a project. It would be a much smaller job kickstarting a single novel than kickstarting this anthology, where I have so many backers rewards from so many authors. Oh yes, and if you're new to this, I'm kickstarting an anthology. I actually walked too far. Walked all the way to Garnet. Oh well. It's a bit of a change. I meant to just go to Cameron, but... Wait a minute. Oh, this is Cameron. Okay, not losing my mind. Or maybe I am. It's because I'm talking and walking at the same time. Hi, how are you? So, yes, I'm kickstarting this anthology. I have kickstarted this second anthology that features authors who I interview in my podcast, The World Shapers, which you can find at theworldshapers.com, where I interview science fiction and fantasy authors about their creative process. Kickstarted an anthology last year, Shapers of Worlds, featuring first-year guests. And now I've kickstarted one featuring second-year guests, cleverly called Shapers of Worlds Volume 2, which will be out this fall. You can get the first one anywhere that you like, and you'll be able to get the second one anywhere too. Traditional view of the creek on a warm spring Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and cross to the other side here, but I'm going to go down past Elphinstone to convince my zigzagging of the week. I like zigzagging. Down this side of Regina Avenue for a little ways. Also, I usually walk along, I'll walk along the creek tomorrow, Monday. If you happen to be watching this live on Facebook or YouTube, leave a comment and I'll know you're there. It's always nice to not feel entirely alone as I walk along, effectively talking to myself. That way I know I'm talking to at least one other person. Of course, if you saw my video where I sang all 4 parts of Maria from The Sound of Music, which is on my YouTube channel, if you want to go looking for it, multiple personalities come naturally to me. Goes with being an actor. It's a lot of fun to do. I recorded each nun separately, but knew how they were positioned for the final song in a row of 4. So as I sang each nun's line, I would react as if I were hearing, or when I would sing a nun's line, and if I were one of the other nuns, I would react as if I were hearing that nun's line from wherever it was supposed to be coming from. And I had no idea what it would look like when it was all put together, because that was done by the director, Jane Erson, and her brother, who's also the accompanist, Robert Erson, both good friends of mine. And it turned out so well. Couldn't be happier. I mean, there's always things that could be better, but considering it was shot in my living room in front of a green curtain, green screen, so that they could put a churchy background behind it, I thought it turned out really well. The only thing that with more time could have been fixed was there's a little a cappella section at the end, and that was not perfectly together because I had no way to do the timing. I was just trying to feel it, and based on the results, 2 of me felt it one way and 2 of me felt it slightly more retard, and as we Salt wasn't entirely together, but it worked out well enough. And modern houses down here. Strip mall over there, and that's a condo building beyond it. We're going to go one more block this direction and then zigzag to the left. Timing is just about perfect for crossing the street, it looks like. And we'll see what the internet connectivity is today. I haven't had a unstable internet connection warning yet, but it could come at any time. Usually that just means buffering. Once or twice the YouTube live stream has gone down. And if that happens, I have to stop and restart YouTube and then edit it together for the recorded version, which you are quite likely watching, because I think more people watch the recorded version than watch the live stream. If you are watching the live stream, please let me know. Tell me I have fans. Tell me that you like me, you really like me. That dates myself. That goes back to Sally Field at the Academy Awards from probably the 80s. For Norma Jean. Norma Jean? No, that's Norma Jean? Norma? Something about a union. I don't know. Never saw it. But I remember the speech. Back when I cared about the Oscars, which I haven't for years now. Wouldn't watch them. Wouldn't watch the... Well, I might if you paid me, but otherwise I don't watch any award show except the Tonys. And that's just to see the musical numbers. Golden Globes are probably dead. The Academy Awards probably should be. Practically are, considering how their viewership is cratered. I have some idea why that might be, but can't be sure, so I won't express an opinion on why. Just, I know why I don't watch, and that's mainly because I don't care. And I don't like being lectured by celebrities. Or anybody, really. Unless I've gone to a university to pay to be lectured at, I suppose. There's my first unstable warning. It went away. Hopefully just a bit of buffering. We'll go right now as we zigzag here. I'll walk out this way quite a ways and then come back. Tomorrow will be a morning walk again, not an afternoon one. I'm just glad there's a little bit of shade. Quite pleasant with the shade from the clouds and the breeze. In the sun, it would be several degrees warmer. This is Argyle, if you're, following along at home. Ooh, how exciting. An actual bend in the sidewalk. That's rare. Squirrel. I see fresh growth on the ends of these spruce trees. Another sign of spring. Look, you can see the little buds on the very end there as they start to put out their spring growth. And here we have flowers that have been planted. The trees are getting there. They're not fully fleshed out, budded out, not fleshed out yet. It'd be really weird if trees had flesh. Ugh. That's not just a fantasy idea, it's more of a horror idea. Even a horror novel title, The Trees Have Flesh. Or Trees of Flesh. Or Fleshy Trees. No, I think the first one is the best. The Trees Have Flesh. Trees with flesh? Okay, maybe it's not a great title. More unstable internet. I'm just watching to make sure I don't get the YouTube has failed message. And just hope that I do get it if it fails, because a couple of times I haven't noticed it, and so I've just gone on, leaving any YouTube viewers without even a chance to pick up the second stream. There's small older houses back in here with a few new ones popping up, or older ones that have been nicely redone. These were probably built in the 60s or even the 50s or even earlier, some of them. They don't look that different from the one I was in on Garnet Street, some of them, and that was from post First World War. So like that one, it's really small basic houses. Here comes Princess Street. We will zig again. There's something about that one that makes me think 40s or thereabouts. Here's a park, Keene Park. Can we walk through the park and get somewhere? Not much in the way of a path, but we can go down the alley here by the park. There's people on the playground over there. Doesn't seem to be a path through the park per se. It's a small park, not much to it, but green space is always welcome. It's a nice playground at least. Yeah, it's got to curve back the way I've come, so I might walk through the grass here. So I'm still going in the way I want to go. See what I see when I get to the curve up here. Might just be a zig back. If I go over there, I just end up in an alley. Oh wait, I think I see a way through over there, so I'll cross the grass here. See, everything's very brown. There's supposed to be rain this week. We could sure use it. I need to water my yard even if rain is coming. Our grass is pretty bad shape anyway from doing renovations a few years ago, and temporary plywood sidewalk stretched across it killed a bunch of grass, and a big disposal bin sitting on it killed a bunch more. Really needs new sod, but our focus right now is in the back where we're hoping to build a new deck. We've been looking at deck samples, composite. We'll use composite, not wood. Who can afford wood? And also a bit of an extension, just a small extension on one piece of the house so that we can put in a downstairs half bath or powder room, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think I have much protecting the I walked the other way on the street, so now I'm walking this way. Too much protecting the microphone from the wind, so I don't know what the wind noise is like, but this is the Lakeview Par 3 coming up here. I'm just approaching it from the opposite direction than I did last time I was over here. Anybody watching, let me know. I haven't had a greeting from Facebook or YouTube today. That would be nice if anybody's there. Even when I don't get a comment, when I get back, I usually find there's been somebody. They just didn't say anything. If you are that somebody, say something. I might have to stop to read your comment because between my elderly eyesight and my motion, it can be hard to read comments. I plan to work my way all the way over to Pasqua Street. That's what I'm doing, in case you're wondering. I mean all the way to the, Pasqua. Won't go all the way to the Louvain, it's too much. Oh, let's walk through the grass over here. This part of the park. We'll walk between the trees to make it more interesting. And there's the unstable internet connection warning, so I gotta keep an eye on that. Hopefully YouTube is still up. This is the rest of the park I'm walking through over here. And then the Lakeview Par 3 clubhouse is over there, and there's tennis courts next to it as well. I don't know exactly if they called it Lakeview Country Club or something. I don't know. I just think of it as the Par 3. Have played it, not recently. Not much of a golfer. Probably should play this one. Probably a good place to practice cheaply and close to home. Well, here's Pasqua. I just found water. Didn't expect that. It's the air ambulance going over. There. I think that's what that is. Most helicopters are when they go over. Can't tell without the color though. The air ambulance is red. Well, here we are in Pasqua. Not really a good place to walk, so I will walk outside the perimeter of the Lakeview golf course here. Lakeview Par 3 golf course and tennis courts. That's what it's called. Again, I have walked here, but it was headed the other way, so, whole different experience when you walk south instead of north. And there are people playing golf, so hopefully I'm well out of the way of even the most errant player. So over there is the clubhouse again. It's like the practice if that's an actual hole or just a practice hole. It looks like a practice hole. Now, I have to get across the creek up here. Means I have to get up onto the road. Up my shoulder. If you see me get hit by a car, call for help. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, well, I have to. There's no way there's a way over. It's not on the other side of that railing, surely. Or is there? Either that or I go a little further and go around the... well, maybe there is. Looks like there's a bit of a path on this side of the guardrail, so I'll take that. The airport is over there. You can also see the real prairie out there. Well, the farmed prairie, it's not the wild prairie. Oh yeah, I can cross here without getting close to the cars. Here's the creek. Not a natural part of the creek over here, I don't think. I think that's just a storm channel. I watch my feet because there's a bit of a slope here. And I'll walk over through the grass away from Pasquay here. That used to be Dutch growers. We used to buy all our plants there and our Christmas tree. But they've moved to a much less handy location. Not that far away, but you have to go out briefly onto the highway to get to it. Still nobody has said hi. Are you there? Is this thing on? It might not be. I never know. We're walking so the other side of this channel from the golf course there. That's the, oh, there's somebody. Who's there? I think it says Neta. It's hard for me to see. My eyes are not doing very well. Watching from Brazil. Oh, cool. Well, welcome to Saskatchewan, in a manner of speaking. I started to say that's a Hindu temple over there. And right in front of us, that's a seniors housing kind of place. Retirement home. I don't know exactly what they call it. I'll know when I get closer to the sign. Oof. Ground's a bit uneven. This should take me back into the Regina community garden. Probably people in there gardening today, if that's where this takes me. So now we start to zig back the other way and zag. Your choice. It is called, there's not a sign identifying it. It might just be condos, I guess. I thought it was a sort of a seniors. All right, we have a choice. Go down that side of the creek or this side of the creek, or the storm channel actually. Let me think. I think we'll go down this side because I think the gardens are on this side. If we can find them again. Oh, oh, somebody else. Watching from Colombia. Oh my, I have an international audience today. That's Yoba. Hi, welcome. Well, that figures. Just as I'm welcoming somebody from Colombia, I got a bad internet connection warning, but hopefully it's back again. Just a bit of buffering. So I did say welcome to Yoba from Colombia. I should mention this was all inspired by another live stream walker you might be interested in called Walking Commuter. You can find his channel. He has thousands of people following him. He walks in Manhattan, though. For some reason, people are more interested in Manhattan than Regina, Saskatchewan. Can't imagine why. You see a lot more trees and grass here than you see in his videos, I'll tell you that. Oh good, this is the gardens. Thought it was. So this is Grow Regina. It's a community garden. People are starting to put stuff in it now. Last couple of times I've been along, there wasn't anything. A few things starting to blossom, like that bush. You see people out here working in it now, which wasn't here yet when I'd been here before. And the coolest thing is that brand new gazebo in the middle there, which was designed by a local artist named Victor Sikansky. We have some pieces by him. He does a lot of bronze and ceramic work. This was just installed, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's very cool. You can see the different vegetables around the bottom there. And the posts are all tree branches, and then you have a leafy canopy up there at the top. Come down, you can see the various vegetables here. Tomatoes and peas and beans and turnips, I think. Pretty cool, huh? Go Regina. Welcome to our orchard. Every tree and bush here belongs to a gardener. Please look, but don't take. Oh, some of these orchard trees are starting to blossom here too, which is nice. Cherries, looks like mostly. Except this is an apple tree here. Oops, I should probably not walk into that. So this fellow here, we actually have a small version of this by Sikansky, this work of art. I really like his stuff. All right, I forgot they were working on this road. Oh, see, proof that we're close to the airport. Try to get across the creek here. We're going to start zigzagging our way back, so I go through the park, I keep walking down the street. Go that way, I'm going a little further south yet, which wasn't, well, yeah, that's more interesting. We'll go through the park. Anyway, last time I came this way, I walked down the other side of the storm channel there, so. And actually, we'll take this little winding path, which is not exactly the direct route, but should be more interesting. If you are watching and you just came on stream, walking through Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, it is 28 degrees Celsius, so quite warm for us. But there's a little bit of shade, so it's quite pleasant with the trees. Yes, I know, this is an entirely unnecessary winding path to take, but I'm taking it anyway. Not sure what they're doing on that road. I think they put in some new pipe, and now it looks like they're getting ready to replace the sidewalks based on what I stepped over as I came through. There are bicycles, so there's probably kids around here somewhere. Playground way down there. I've walked down that way before, but I won't go that far this time. Oh, somebody else. Oh, so nothing. From Brazil. Good walk, thank you. Oh, here's a big new house from the back. Oh, and there's a big dog. Handsome dog. It's a very handsome dog. I'm more of a cat person. That was a handsome dog. Although that's a lot of fur to be carrying around in warm weather. It'd be much more comfortable during our winters. When I first started doing this, there was still snow on the ground. And I've walked in the snow a couple of times. So people who've been watching, you've seen the changing seasons. There's someone else. Hello, Kirk from Vancouver. I said Wisconsin. I really don't have good eyesight. Need reading glasses, but I'm not going to walk with reading glasses. So anyway, welcome from Vancouver. Obviously, I need to walk in the afternoons more often. I get more people popping in than in the mornings. Here it's 4:15. How long have I been walking? I have to plan to be back. Yeah, I should be making my way back. I usually do these for about an hour, so I'm about half that so far. So I will start to trend back to the north from here, zigzagging through. It's called Lakeview. It's Lakeview is a very large neighborhood south of Regina Avenue. It's called Lakeview, but nobody in it actually has a view of the lake. hardly anybody. There's a few people right over by the lake, I can see it. The rest of these people, no. They're further from the lake than I am. My neighborhood's not called Lakeview, it's the Crescents because we live on a crescent. Or Cathedral because that's where the Holy Rosary Cathedral is. So, say goodbye to the park. It's a big one, this one. I've walked through parts of it. Oh yeah, this house is quite something over here. Love to see inside that one. It was built a few years ago. And I like the layout. But it's big. A lot bigger than ours. Another big modern one here. Getting quite thirsty. Between the heat, so I'm sweating a little, and then the wind blowing it off, I'm getting dry. I should have brought a water bottle. We're on Allen Avenue now, if you're following along on Google Maps, which I'm quite sure you aren't. So these are the houses that would have been originally built here, but as they go out, people are putting in bigger, sort of ultra-modern houses in many places. Interesting, I think everybody has said hello from YouTube today. None of my Facebook followers. Usually I get more people from Facebook than YouTube if I'm going to get anybody saying hello. If I could get 1,000 subscribers, I could make money doing this, but since I'm at 61, I don't think I'm going to get there. Really like to make me happy. Look for me on Amazon and buy my books, Edward Willett. Or go to my website, edwardwillett.com. 2 T's on Willett, very important. This is St. Luke's Anglican Church ahead of me. The building to the left is their fellowship hall. And I've rehearsed many shows in there. I perform quite a bit of community theater. I'm also a professional actor, a member of Canadian Actors Equity. But the shows I've rehearsed here weren't the professional ones, they were community theater ones. The Fantastics, I remember rehearsing in there, and The Most Happy Fella. I'm the most happy fella into the whole Napa Valley. Into the whole Napa Valley, the most happy man, that's me. Thank you. That would be a sample of that. I played Tony Esposito, not the hockey player. He grows grapes in the story. Hence the Napa Valley reference. Now I'll walk by St. Luke's Anglican here. It actually says Prairie Sky School on that building now. So I wonder what's in there. May not be connected to the church anymore. Well, I guess I'll start heading back this way. The general direction of home. So 7-Eleven. When we rehearsed in that building, I bought many a big gulp here before rehearsal, or during rehearsal when I needed a drink. I would love to have a drink now. Talking dries you out too, so I'm gonna have to think about that as the days get warmer. I will keep doing this. To bring some water with me. The purpose of the walk is to show off Regina, but also it's a way to motivate me to walk every day. So this is Hill Avenue shopping area over here, just a lot of little shops. In fact, I bought something there just yesterday. Actually, that's where my wife's birthday cake was. She actually ordered it, but there's a cake maker down in Estevan who comes to Regina Farmers Market sometimes, and we've gotten to know her, and she makes beautiful cakes. And so Margaret Ann ordered herself a birthday cake, and that's where they deliver them. Used to be in the kitchen store there, but now it's in the flower shop because the kitchen store people bought the flower shop. I'm sure this is utterly fascinating to anyone who doesn't live in Regina. And everything gets greener and greener. It was all brown and white when I started back in March. Haven't missed a day since, I don't know, third week of March, something like that. Pouring rain would make me probably not do it. The camera might be okay. They're fairly water resistant. The gimbal though, the motion canceling gimbal, I don't think is water resistant at all, so wouldn't want it to get soaked. And even a plastic bag would leave me worried about it. Plus, who wants to walk in the pouring rain, except to get good video, I guess. I walked in a snowstorm. If you look on my YouTube channel, you can find that. It's a fairly short one, but we had a late blizzard that blew in, or not really a blizzard, didn't last long enough to be a blizzard, or cold enough maybe. It was nasty anyway. So I took a walk in that just to show what Saskatchewan can be like. Very different from what it is right now. Nice and quiet down in here. Another modern one over there. House. Oh, I guess is it two? It's two, side by side. These would be the older houses originally built in this neighborhood. And increasingly you see these springing up. Oh, good. I put myself on the same side as the big pile of dirt, but it doesn't cover the sidewalk, so it should be okay. Had a few people check in on YouTube. If you're watching live on YouTube or watching on Facebook, let me know you're there. I'll say hi, if I can read it. I'm going to be happy to get a cold drink when I get home. Another big new one, a couple of them there. That one's so new, it's under construction. Now, I'll move out of the way for this family. are newer ones there. And coming up on our left over here is Lakeview United Church. I've rehearsed in there many times. We use their basement for rehearsals quite often. The Regina Lyric Musical Theater that I'm part of. Past president of, actually. I see their cherry tree is starting to blossom there in front. And then the school over here, behind the fence, is Lakeview School. It's one of the oldest schools in the area. Well over 100 years old now. And still going. Some of the oldest ones are starting to get torn down and replaced with new ones. And keeping an eye on this house being built on this corner here, on my left. That's a big one, and a lot of glass. So, you know, people who live in glass houses, it's not quite a glass house, but that living room has a lot of glass. Zigging again to the south. Instead of taking the same footbridge I took to get over, I might go over the Albert Street Bridge. Albert Street is the main drag that goes north-south through Regina. Connects to, well, it's Highway 6, I guess, I think, on both ends. But it also takes you onto Highway 11, which goes up to Saskatchewan. That one's a little different. The windows are interesting. There's Lakeview United, not Lakeview United School, Lakeview School, Lakeview United Church. Has some nice brickwork on it. Kids taking advantage of the nice weather in the playground. I actually wrote a book called Historic Walks of Regina and Moose Jaw, but I can usually only remember snatches of what's in it. And it's too awkward to bring it with me to refer to as I walk, so I can never remember details. But every now and then some fact will surface. One more zig to the right. The next zig to the left will take us to Regina Avenue. And then I have to decide how I want to get across the creek. We're still quite a ways from Albert Street up there, so I don't know if I'll go all that way or not. Although I have to go most of that way anyway, whichever side of the creek I'm on, since we don't live that far from Albert Street. I like this house. Of the modern ones, this one is a particularly nice one, I think. Takes good use of its corner here. And as someone who doesn't like to mow grass, this kind of a landscaping appeals to me as well. Maybe we should look at doing that in front of our house. I don't think it works as well in front of an old house, though. It's just not what you expect. And our house was built in 1926, so it's coming up on 100 years old. Again, these are the more what was built here originally, these kind of houses. It's much smaller. Not everybody does the ultra modern, like that one fits into the old style a little better. And up here, that really big one, it's on Regina Avenue, but on the other side it faces onto the creek. Wascana Creek, so it has a bit of a view. Probably replaced two houses, looking at the size of it. I don't remember. It's built since I moved here, but you know how it is. You forget what it looked like before something new was built, and pretty soon it seems like whatever was built new had been there forever. Oh, it's for sale. Gee, maybe we should buy it. Pretty sure we won't. Well, Albert Street is just down there. Technically, my house is... Once we cross this next street, my house will be directly to the south across the creek, so it doesn't make sense to go back to the footbridge. So I think I'll carry on to the Albert Street Bridge. It's a little noisy crossing it, but it's also a change from where I've been walking. For anybody that's watched a large chunk of this, it'll be a change of pace. I don't know if any of the people who checked in are still there. If you are, thanks for watching this much of it. If you're new, on either YouTube or Facebook, say hi, and I'll say hi back as I jaywalk. Been in that house, used to know the people that lived there a long time ago when I first moved to Regina in the 80s, late 80s. I came up here from Weyburn, which is a small town about a little over an hour southeast of here. Not that small. For Saskatchewan standards, it's quite large, 10,000 people. But I was, oh, nice car. If you're a sucker for hot rods with visible air scoops, this goes back when I was a kid. I was. I was a newspaper reporter at the Weyburn Review. That's where I started my career. After 4 years, I became news editor at the age of 24, so I edited the newspaper in my late 20s, and then opportunity came here at the Saskatchewan Science Centre for a communications officer. Well, that's just public relations, but they also needed somebody who could write copy for the exhibits, and that really appealed to me. So that's what I did. I applied and I got the job, and that's what brought me to Regina in 1988. Been here ever since. And then in 1993, I quit my job and became a freelance writer, which I've been ever since. Write a lot of nonfiction still, but I also write science fiction and fantasy, which is my first love. And I have some 20 novels. I don't have an exact count in my head. Overall, more than 60 books of one sort or another. And look, now I'm a live streamer on YouTube. Woohoo! Just came this way to vary it a bit. If you say anything to me right this moment, I won't see it because the sun is too bright. Can't see a thing on my screen until I change direction again. You can see the bridge up here, Albert Street Bridge, goes over Wascana Creek. Sometimes called the longest bridge over the shortest body of water. I don't know if that's technically true, but the creek is not very wide, so over there, those two spans, you can kind of see a curve. That's the actual part that covers the water. All the rest of this is for looks. And it is a dam. So part of that is because there's a dam there, earth dam, that formed the lake on the other side, Wascana Lake, which gave this whole area its name, Lakeview, even though, as you can see, I am practically on top of the lake and I still can't see it. On Fridays, every Friday I walk around the lake. It's about 5K from my house all the way around and back. So now we have to go up the stairs to get onto the bridge. Over there's where the creek is. You can just see a little bit of it. Always different flags flying on the bridge. Right now they've got the Saskatchewan flag flying, but they change them regularly. Earlier we had the Greek and the Union Jack flags flying together, but that was before Prince Philip died, so I don't think it had anything to do with him. And this was his birthday. When was his birthday? Did he have his birthday not too long before he died? I don't know. Now you can see the lake. And this is the Albert Street Bridge. I'll stay well away from the curb because things go by really close, like this bus that's coming. I always think about the fact that their mirrors stick out. I'd rather not encounter one at first. So yeah, there's the lake. Again, every Friday I walk around the lake. Here's the creek itself. Wascana Creek. Maybe the phone has gone into low power mode and it's dimmed the screen. That wouldn't surprise me. That's why I can't really see anything. I mean, I can tell that the picture's still there, but it's very dim. Oops. I can't see it at all because I touched the wrong thing. I didn't kill it, I just switched screens without meaning to. There we go. I did kill it accidentally once, because the stop button was actually on the screen, and if I was poking at the wrong corner and accidentally turned off my... See, these are the only houses that could legitimately be said to be in Lakeview because they actually have a view of the lake. On the other hand, they also have the heaviest traffic in Regina going by all day long. So from here, we're about 2 blocks from home, where I will wrap up this walk. That corner over there is called Speaker's Corner. You can't really see them too well, but there's a couple of lanterns framing that entrance to it, which used to be in Hyde Park in London at Speaker's Corner. I often mention in my young adult series, The Shards of Excalibur, Wally Knight, one of the main characters, lives down here on Harrington Mews in a fictitious house. Real street, fictitious house. And the other character lives over Wallace Street, I think it is, which I've also walked down, and again, real street, fictitious house. There are some real Regina landmarks in those books, and then some that are made up. I mean, the lake is the big one because the story kicks off when the Lady of the Lake from King Arthur shows up in Wascana Lake, as one does when one is the Lady of the Lake. Tells this local girl that she's now the Lady of the Lake, and she and the boy who live on Harrington Mews right there have to go find the scattered shards of Excalibur, Arthur's sword, before Merlin can find it. He's the bad guy in the book. And in his modern day guise, he's called Rex Major, which of course means High King in Latin. And he's a computer guy like a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs. So I had a lot of fun with that series. Look it up in Amazon or Shadow Paw Press, my own publishing company. That one was published by a local publisher that went out of business. So the rights reverted to me and I brought out my own new ebook editions. And we'll bring out new print editions at some point if I feel the need. I've got a lot of stock of the Cateau Books edition, so not sure I need my own print editions just yet. Can't tell if there's another. Oh, there have been a couple. I just can't see them because my screen has gone so dim. Sorry, I just can't read it. I know it's Kirk, but I can't quite read it. I think the screen has gone into low power mode. Oh, you lived at 2910 Race Street. Oh, there you go. So this is your old neighborhood I've been walking around in. Well, I'm on Angus Crescent, so this is Leopold Crescent. We go through this alley, we're on Angus Crescent. And then shortly after that, I'm home. Davin School directly ahead of us, where my daughter went to school. She's now about to turn 20, so she's a university student, University of Toronto. Although she's been a University of Toronto student here in Regina for the entire year, of course. Okay, definitely got to start taking water with me on warmer days. I'm parched. It's not even all that hot. It's the talking. It's drying me out. This is Angus Crescent. I have often walked down this street before. This is the street on which I live. Excuse me. Shouldn't burp on live on a live stream. Okay, we're home. Thanks for watching. If you've watched live, if you watched the recording, thanks for watching that too. And I will be back tomorrow for a walk along the creek in the morning. Bye for now.